Hello and welcome to Point of View, the show produced by Meet Your Makers. This is the first of what I hope to be many shows with various gaming personalities about their history, about their present, and about their future. My first guest today is Mariusz Loord Cybulski. He needs no introduction. He's a professional Counter-Strike global offensive player. He has multiple world championships with the now non-existent Golden 5. He has won Intel Extreme Masters, WCG, ESWC championships. Lord, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, no problem. Hello, everyone. I hope you will have some nice time listening to my answers and to my English, since it's not the best.
I'm sure
I hope it won't be a torture for you.
Okay, well, I wanted to get into your early history of Counter-Strike. Do you remember your first time playing a computer game?
Yeah, I think that it's similar to all of us. We have been with classmates from my school at the school trip or something like that, and after that we decided to go to internet cafe to play some games together, and we played some Quake 3, Unreal Tournament, and Counter-Strike, and I think I like it. So that's how all that beginning.
Yeah, and when Counter-Strike came out, it wasn't very supported. It wasn't supported by Valve as much as it is today. How did you learn about the competitive scene in Counter-Strike? Did you join a team right away? Did you play in any leagues?
No, it was different. I think that first time I saw Counter-Strike at competitive level, it was in TV station called Hyper in Poland. And I saw a coverage or just a movie from a Polish championships coverage, but by Counter-Strike.pl. It was like the biggest Polish site back in the days about CS. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's where I learned about the competitive scene.
Okay, and what was your first team in Counter-Strike? When did you first start playing competitively?
Well, I started playing like after 3 or 4 months. I found some friends online, mm-hmm. and we created a team. We played in Clown Base. That was the biggest league, online league or something like that. Mm-hmm. And we were having fun from that.
Okay.
Yes.
So before the Golden 5 got together, you guys, most of you played in separate teams. There was even a rivalry between you guys in the Polish scene. When did your team, aside from the team that Neo, Taz, and Luke were on, when did your team start becoming relevant in the Polish scene? What were some early successes before you got together with the other members?
It all started when I met Kuben. Mm-hmm. We played some gutter from IRTS channels. There was like mixed games between random peoples at IRTS. And we decided to create a team, and we had some good achievements for that time. I think we placed like many times in top 2, 3 in some big Polish tournaments.
Okay. And
the biggest our achievement was, I think that it was 2 times we were second at WCG qualifiers in Poland.
Okay. Yeah. So, not long after, this was right before WSVG in the UK in 2006, you joined PGS with Kuben. Is that right?
No, it's not right.
Okay, so when did you join PGS?
I joined PGS when we started to had some troubles in our team with mm-hmm. Kuben and some other guys, and there was a guy with a nickname Molotovs. I don't know if some people remember him, but maybe some do. And he was a good friend of Neo. And okay. In these days, the Pentagram team also had some troubles, and they were looking for some fresh blood for a team and some new guys. Mm-hmm. And Molotovs told Neo that maybe they should try me. And that was a big chance for me, so I couldn't refuse that.
Right.
That was like a dream for every young guy. playing
right.
CS.
Yeah, in Poland it must have been crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so whose idea was it to form the lineup, the Golden Five? So I'm talking about Neo, Taz, Luke, and Kuben. Whose idea was it, and what was the main goal of this team? Did you guys know that you wanted to be the best team in the world?
I think that we didn't expect that much in that time, but the team was created by like the same situation like before, that we had some problems, internal problems in team. Neo left the team, and we decided to bring Kuben instead of Neo.
Okay.
But then, like after 2 weeks, Neo decided to came back to the team, and the guy who was kicked was Molotovs, and that's how the team was created.
Okay. So, what was your first victory? Was it WSVG UK? Was that the biggest victory you guys had early on?
Yeah, with that lineup, that was the first international tournament. It was like after, I think, 3 weeks we have been together. So that was a pretty big surprise for us.
Okay, and so you guys ended up winning WSVG UK. The next event for you guys, as I believe, was WCG Finals, right, in Monza?
Yeah, right. It was like
and everyone
2 weeks
knows you
later.
you guys ended up winning this event, which was crazy. I mean, I remember the stage and everything. Did you expect to win this event?
I don't know. I think that no one expected us to win that event. I think that I could count people in my one hand who believed that we could win that, and that people were us. I think.
So what are some of your best memories from Monza?
For me, that's the best memory overall in Counter-Strike. That was like a dream. We played in the final against the guys which we saw in the movies, like 1 year before or something, and then we just won against them. So that was like amazing feel.
Yeah. And let's go a little further here. Also, 2006 and 2007, you guys ended up winning, from what I read, I'm not sure, about $110,000 in prize money in those 2 years from WCG, ESWC, WSVG, and even, I don't remember, I think you guys placed third at CPL?
Yeah, exactly, in that year.
In 2008, you guys moved to Meet Your Makers, and my question is, why did you guys decide to leave PGS? Because you guys had a great thing going for you, and looking back at the history you guys have had with organizations, would you consider leaving PGS a mistake?
I think that was the biggest mistake in our whole careers. I think that we should just stay. And we had a great management there. We had a great manager also.
And this was Neo's dad, right? Or
No. It was a guy from. It was a Polish guy living in Germany. His nickname was Ryan Filip Kasprowicz.
Okay.
Maybe some people recognize him, but I think that was the biggest mistake, because in these days we had like so many titles and so on, and we could create such a big team like Navi did.
Right.
Yeah, but we were young and stupid. We were looking only for, the number on our account of money, and that was the mistake, I think.
But was it everyone's decision to leave? Was it like, wow, Meet Your Makers, such a big name, let's all go right away, or were you guys? Did everyone have a different opinion?
It was like our contracts were ending in that time, and Meet Your Makers gave us better conditions to play, and better salaries and so on. But I think that was a bad move from us.
Yeah. So 2008 was weird for you guys because the results weren't there at the beginning, and you made some changes. And we all know these changes. I mean, Luke was kicked from the team, and then you guys asked him back, and then Kuben was kicked, and you guys asked him back. What was up with these changes? Can you explain them? Like, whose idea were they? Why were they made?
Usually the changes are made in teams because of lack of achievements, right? So in that time, I think that's only my opinion. I don't know about what the other guys think, but in my opinion, we had too many money, and we didn't really care about our results in tournaments and top 3 placements at all. So we kind of lost motivation to play.
So your salaries were too big. Is that what you're saying, or?
It was too easy to play. We didn't have to fight to achieve good places in tournaments. To gain money from it.
And so my next question is related. Is when you asked, Kuben and Luke back, were there any hard feelings after these changes? Were they kind of mad at you guys, or?
No, I think that they understand the situation. We all knew that the problem is not in the peoples, but it is in our minds. That we just lost the ambitions to play, but we found it back. So do you think these changes helped in the long run? Yeah, I think it helped because it was only like 3 weeks. Kuben was left from a team, so when he came back, we were more motivated, and we wanted to show everyone that was not that Kuben was not a problem, but it was our problem in our team inside. I mean.
Okay. Moving on, 2008 to 2010. This is probably the hardest year for you guys when it comes to organizations, because there was a lot of them. I mean, MYM, Vitriolic, Wicked, Frag eXecutors. That's quite a bit of organizations, and every time it seems that you guys left an organization, it was a big deal. And every time you guys played under the name Again. So Again has become a name, I think, that is like the Golden Five. It's more famous than the organizations you guys have played for. So did you guys ever think of forming your own team like Navi did at this point?
No, to be honest, we didn't. The problem started when we left MEM, and we couldn't find a stable organization which could fill our expectations and so on, and we were kind of losing motivation again. And after that, we found I don't know what was the team called, Wicked maybe.
Yeah, Wicked Esports.
Yeah, they sent
Dubai,
us
right?
for
Or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. We were like, okay, that's it. And the guy was told us that I will bring you heaven and so on. You will bath in dollars and stuff like that. Yeah, and it all failed after one tournament, and we lost motivation again. And we went to the WCG, I think, on that name. And some of us were even thinking about retirement.
Wow, okay.
Because we couldn't find any stabilization in anything.
So, I mean, this was a question I had written down earlier. What were the big issues with the organizations? I mean, was it that you guys were expecting too much after having such big salaries, or were the organizations really bad? I mean,
I think that it wasn't our expectations. It was the organization problems.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to ask also about your relationship with Zowie and QPad. It seems like every time you guys lost an organization, you would have like a personal team sponsorship with Zowie and QPad. Did you ever think of joining up with them as their official team, or how did this work exactly?
I think that Zowie is more like between Zowie and Neo. It wasn't between our team and Zowie. So we couldn't create a team. with them, but then came up the Cupid, which helps us really a lot, like no one did before. Yeah, we are really appreciate that, I think.
Okay, so not long afterwards you guys joined Frag eXecutors in 2010, and this was huge news because you guys joined with Pasha instead of Luke. So why was Luke thrown out of the team? I mean, I know there was drama, huge drama earlier, but why was Pasha chosen as the replacement? Do you think Pasha was a good replacement for Luke? Do you think it was a good move to throw Luke out?
I don't know. When I look back on it from this day, I'm not sure, because Pasha for sure is a great guy, also funny guy, and great player. But it took so long for us to came back on top with him. It took like 1 year maybe, or even more. So I'm not sure about that, but maybe it was good, but I'm not sure.
You know, and I have this other question that comes to mind when it comes to Frag eXecutors. Guns Are Drawn. What was Guns of Drawn? For those who don't know, Guns of Drawn was a project by the same people that were in FX, and it was kind of an online school for Counter-Strike players. What was the deal with this? Did this ever help anybody? I mean, did it ever get off the ground?
To be honest, no one knows what was that.
Okay.
From us, that was just a mistake by Polish Frag eXecutors.
Okay, so that's what I was wondering about, because I've heard so much about it, and nothing ever really happened.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Golden Five, you guys had a reputation of being one of the worst teams online, out of the SK, Fnatic, whatever. I mean, it was crazy. You would win huge events and then next week lose to some unknown team online. Why was this? Why did you guys have such trouble online?
I think that the problem was in our heads, because we thought that everyone is better online than us, and when it came to LAN, we were like, okay, it's gonna be easy, and we knew that. But when we were playing online, we were like scared of everyone. Okay. But also the problem was with the internet, Polish internet. Okay. Yeah, I think that we had worse conditions than other teams.
Okay, interesting. And did you guys have this problem in practice? I mean, when you played the top teams online, did you also lose to them all the time? Not in big competitions. I mean, like just privately.
Yeah. Do you mean in practice? Or?
Yeah, in practice.
Yeah, we were almost all our practice we lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you guys ever think of moving into a team house to boot camp somewhere? I mean, was this ever a possibility?
No, there was no possibility in Poland in these days. So all we were doing was boot camping in outside of Poland.
Okay.
For example, in Sweden.
And when you boot in Sweden, probably Inferno Online or something like that.
Yeah.
So when you boot camped, did you guys get better results, or did you?
I'm not sure still, because it was like when we came to LANs, we were much more motivated than playing practice online. So we played totally different game than in practice. Okay. So maybe that was the problem, that we were not so motivated to play online and in this practice.
Okay. So you guys later on in 2012 signed for ESC Gaming, and it seemed like a pretty normal period for you guys. Although in the middle of 2013, you announced that you would be retiring. And right afterwards, you came back and you formed the Meet Your Makers lineup. I wanted to ask, why did you decide to retire, and why did you decide to come back after you retired?
Yeah, so I kind of lost my motivation after I left the team, which we played for so long. So I was not sure if I want to play with someone else because I knew that Polish players are not so experienced, and it's gonna take too long to even compete with Virtus.Pro. I mean, actual Virtus.Pro.
So Virtus.Pro, you mean Taz, Neo?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So cool. And when you were retiring and coming back, this is the time where a little bit of drama happened, and I want to touch on this very quickly because we talked about this earlier. I think the majority of the community thought that you said that you didn't like the way you were treated by your teammates other than Neo, and I know that you feel that this was taken out of context. So, do you want to?
Yeah, I would like to say something about it, since I think that some people misunderstand my words and what I said. I didn't say that they treat me bad when we played together, but what I meant was like they treat us, me and Kuben, bad when we broke the team. I think that we should just sit down and talk. They should, after so many years, they should just tell us, I mean, that they don't see any bright future for this lineup and so on. And they didn't. And when I asked them, we both knew that we're gonna break, that this team is not gonna work anymore. We both knew that we're gonna be out from that team. And when we asked them what's going on, they were not answering. They were telling us that we don't know yet and stuff like that. So we were pissed off of that, and that was what I meant when I say that they treat us bad. Me, in that case.
In the same interview, and I hope you don't get mad at me for this question, is you said that you didn't like CS Global Offensive and it's not the future. Do you feel that this has changed recently with the CS Global Offensive? I mean, we're having huge tournaments, $250,000. Has this changed?
Yeah, back in the days when I say that, I still think that that in that moment that game was like not so good, and it was too random. But suddenly after I don't know, 1 month maybe after I say that, the game changed a lot, like really a lot. The movement changes and really big update, and the skins update, which in my opinion was at the beginning also was a bad idea, but after all it was a great idea, I think.
I mean, we have these big prizes now, and I think that's thanks to the skins, right? I mean, thanks to the cases.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you enjoy Global Offensive more than you did at the beginning?
Yeah, at the moment it's way more playable than it was before, and I think that also the scene grows up, like really. We have so many teams at the moment which can win the tournament. So yeah, so I like that the way it is growing. I mean the CS scene. So yeah, I think that I like it more than before, way more than before.
Okay, and so since we're on the topic of Global Offensive changing, are there any specific things you'd like to see changed still in CSGO? I mean, be it recoil, movement,
Yeah, I think that the game still needs a lot of patches to be called a great. Since I think it's good now, but it's not so great. I think that there should be some movement changes. I believe that the game is a bit too fast. I mean players are moving too fast, like. I lost the word, but it doesn't matter. But I also think that some map needs some changes.
Right. And this is something, this was my next question, is there are a lot of people that have problems with the maps. I think Train and Mirage are the ones that people are loudest about. But, I mean, even, Dust 2, I mean, every map has its issues with the cars and the whatever. Have you seen some of the community maps, like Train, VE, and Mirage?
Yeah, I have seen them, but I don't think that Train VE fits good for CS:GO.
Okay.
I think that I personally I like the most the maps like Cache and Season. I think that these maps fits the most for the CS:GO.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that Train needs a lot of improvements. Inferno also, and
Okay.
yeah, and some other maps also.
What about Mirage? I mean, which do you prefer, the community version or the Valve version, or do you think it should be thrown out?
I think that the Valve version is the worst.
Yeah. Okay.
The competitive version is okay, but it also needs some improvements, and it needs to be fitted to CS:GO style, but it's still better than the Valve version,
Okay.
in my opinion.
So you're now in Meet Your Makers, which is why I'm having the opportunity to do this interview, which is awesome. How did you end up joining the organization? Did you guys approach? I mean, I know that you have had a history with Meet Your Makers in the past. So did they approach you, or did you approach them?
I have nothing with it, to be honest.
Oh.
It was our manager Pravos who talked to Meet Your Makers, and they say that maybe that's worth a try. Yeah, so yeah, that's how it started.
Okay.
But
cool. Okay. And how did this lineup come together? Because I mean, Hyper was banned on ESL. These are famous Polish players, but they're not very famous internationally. Did you want to form a new team, or did they approach you?
no, that was actually the idea of me and Hyper.
Okay.
To create that team, because Hyper was almost like one step to join the new team with Neo and TAS, but they had some internal problems about which I don't want to talk about.
Okay.
And he said that he don't want to play with them, and we just decided to create a team which can compete with them.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how it all started.
So is there a big rivalry between your guys' teams, you guys and Virtus.Pro?
Yeah, it's hard to call that a rivalry at the moment because we didn't even play against each other. Maybe no, we did once, but it was like online.
So,
I don't.
So I mean,
I hope that we will make some troubles for them, but I know that it's gonna be hard since they really put a lot of time at the moment.
Right. So who's the in-game leader of Meet Your Makers right now?
Unfortunately, it's me.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't really like it, but the guys decided that I'm the most experienced and I can bring the most nice ideas and something like that. So it's me.
Are you also kind of coaching them? I mean, because I'd imagine that with your international experience, it is a little different playing. When you were with the Golden Five, I mean, every time you would play, you would be playing the best. So are you also helping out with coaching anything, or are they?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons because why I'm still playing, because I want to show them, I mean the new guys, what's the important in different situations, how to behave, and what they should not do in different runs, because they are making a lot of mistakes at the moment, and I think that they learned a lot from me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, why did you decide to make the team with Hyper? Because he was banned in ESL, right? So, you guys must have had some problems with that at the beginning.
Yeah, we had some problems, but he was banned, but he didn't cheat. That's the problem. Like, a lot of people were banned, but in ESL, but they didn't cheat, and that's the same story with Hyper.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty.
I don't want to talk about.
Everyone is defending Hyper right now. They're saying So
I don't want to talk about it that much, because if someone is interested in that, he knows that most of the people's, like the players which are good or something like that, say that he didn't cheat. So
yeah.
I believe them, and I also watched the demo, and I think that he didn't cheat. So the problem is in ESL stuff, because it wasn't the wire, the anti-cheat program who caught him, but the admins who yeah, they say that he cheating, and okay, let's ban him.
Right. And you know, do you have any idea what's going on with Luke or Kuben at the moment? What are they up to? Because
Yeah,
Luke actually. So let's first talk about Luke. Luke had a sponsorship with Lenovo, right, and Cybersport a few years ago. I mean, is he doing anything in esports still, or?
I don't think he's doing anything at the moment, but we don't have any contact.
Okay. And
with Luke.
okay. So what about Kuben?
With Kuben we have a good contact. We always had a good contact since we played together for like 10 years already. So he went to work, and he's gonna marry soon. So yeah,
All right.
that's about Kuben.
So you guys are playing in a few online leagues right now, ESEA Open, and you guys just won, right? The Star Ladder Professional.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah, we won a spot in the main.
in the Star Series, yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, what would you say is the most prestigious league in Europe right now? Would you say it's ESEA Invite or Star Series?
Oh, I don't think it's either one. I think it's gonna be the DreamHack and the.
Is DreamHack coming up with a league, or?
No, actually not. But I think the most prestigious tournaments for CS at the moment are DreamHack and the one.
EMS one.
Yeah, EMS one. Yeah, EMS one is the most prestigious league.
Okay. So you know, you guys just qualified for the Polish finals for the qualifications for Katowice.
Yeah, that's the main goal of us, to qualify to the main tournament. But hope we can do that.
Okay, cool. And so, I mean, so is ESEA just something? Are you guys going to be playing it next season, or are you?
ESEA?
Yeah.
No, actually, we are qualified to the intermediate league, or whatever it's called. Yeah, and the next league is the Open.
Yeah.
I mean Invite.
Right. Okay. So I also wanted to talk about the domination of Ninjas in Pajamas. The only team that really came close was Very Games to Ninjas in Pajamas. However, we've seen that NIP hasn't been performing as well. They've still been winning. Been winning, but they're not as good as they were. So, do you think that the skill level is evening out, or do you think NIP is still going to dominate in the future?
I think that it's always like that. When a team is dominating for so long, they are kind of losing motivation, and the others are coming closer, and they feel the pressure and so on, and you can't win all the time, right?
Right.
But it also, the problem was that I think that it started when the update came, the one we were talking about before, with the skins and the movement changes, and I think that it changed a lot in playstyle and in that's the two reasons, I think: the update and the dominating the scene for so long by them.
Okay, and I also want to ask you, because this is a few weeks old. Someone announced a Golden 5 documentary, and I noticed that I think Neo's girlfriend, right, is like the reporter for it. And what are your thoughts on the Golden 5 documentary?
No, actually, that's the guy outside of esports. He came up with that idea like 3 years ago, but he couldn't make it happen because lack of money.
Right.
and now he's trying to make it happen. But it all started in WCG, I think, in 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, he came with us to the tournament. He was recording all the stuff. Then he was in Hanover, I think, and some other tournaments.
Right.
Yeah, so he is just bringing back the idea from the past.
Right, right. His name is Radek Jędrzejczak, yeah? I mean, that's the
Yeah,
guy?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm on the site. So what are your thoughts on the documentary? Is it good or bad? Do you care that it's happening? I mean...
I mean, it's a nice idea, for
Mhm.
sure. And I think that it's good that some people will see that there was a team like us, like winning so many titles and so on.
Mhm.
But I think that it won't help me now in any way.
Okay,
It's good for the Virtus.Pro team, but not for me for sure.
okay, okay.
But I still like the idea to
Yeah. So what are your closest goals for tournaments in the future? Obviously EMS1. Anything else other than that?
Yeah, the most important one is for sure the Katowice.
Mhm.
It's like the most important for everyone at the moment, I think.
What
And-
are your chances qualifying for Katowice?
Yeah, we will see. There's like 6 spots for 16 teams. I
Mhm.
think we will make it to the European qualifiers because we got easier bracket because we are in the other side than Virtus.Pro and some other Polish teams. So we will make it easy, I think. Yeah, but in European we will see. But I think we have some same chances like everyone else.
Okay, so if you would have to rank, Polish teams right now, where would you guys put yourself?
I will put ourselves in second place
Mhm.
for sure, because no one can win against Virtus.Pro at the moment.
Right.
They are far behind the others just because they got the opportunity to play against other teams in LANs,
Mhm.
and we don't have such opportunity at
Right.
the moment. Mostly because of Hyper's ban.
Right.
And
Okay,
Yeah.
so for the future, I mean EMS1. I'm just jumping all over, but EMS1. Is there a DreamHack coming up? Is there anything else?
Yeah, there's no public information about the DreamHack, but I think that there will be one, since the lot of money is putting Valve's pockets from
Right.
the skins,
Right.
so it won't be a problem. I think maybe they will even make a bigger tournament than before.
Okay.
We
Wow,
will see.
even bigger, you think?
Yeah, I think maybe.
And I wanted to hit on this as well. What do you think the future will be for CS:GO? Do you think it's going to continue to grow, or do you think it's hit its peak already?
I'm not sure. I think it's on the point where it's really competitive at the moment, and there is a lot of teams. But I'm not sure if it will grow. Maybe if there will be still so many tournaments with such a big monies, maybe it will grow. But I think that these teams, which are called top at the moment, are far behind and not behind, but far ahead of the newcomers. So it's gonna be really hard for new teams to compete with these guys from the top.
Right, and I also want to ask you about Counter-Strike 1.6. Is comparing Global Offensive to 1.6. Where do you think the strategy is? Was it more in 1.6 or was it more in Global Offensive?
When it comes to strategy, it was more in 1.6 in my opinion.
Okay.
And in CSGO, it's more about timing and fast decisions from the caller, I mean the strat caller.
Right.
Yeah, so I think the CS 1.6 was more strategy, just because it was slower than CSGO.
Okay. Okay. And can you just touch on Molotovs? What do you think about them? Do you like the grenades or no?
Yeah, they are kind of okay now. I think they're also useful you can make some nice tactics with them. I have seen some teams from America doing some pretty sick stuff with that.
Yeah,
especially on Inferno, I think it's iBuyPower.
Yeah. And so about the American teams, do you think that they're starting to catch up to Europe? I mean, America has always been, I mean, maybe way long time ago, 3D was the best team, but do you think they're starting to catch up to Europe, or is Europe still far ahead?
I think that the situation is similar to where the old CS was in 2003 and 5, from 3 to 5, I mean.
Okay.
So they at the moment they are similar, but but in few years I think they're gonna be far behind the Europeans, because there is too many teams in Europe which can compete with each other, practice, I mean. And in USA they got like 3 teams. They cannot practice against the they don't really know what they are doing wrong in practice, because probably they are winning against everyone, so it's hard to involve, I mean, in that situation. Yeah, so I mean, in a few years they're gonna be far behind.
I also wanted to ask you, are you guys, when you guys practice, are you guys playing against Polish teams, or are you playing against everyone in Europe?
No, we never played against Polish teams, only when it's official games. We try to play against other teams from Europe, because there is no, to be honest, there is no competition in Poland.
Okay.
I mean, outside Virtus.Pro.
And okay, so have you ever practiced with Virtus.Pro?
No, we never practiced.
Okay. Okay, I was interested to see maybe if some tactics or something was shared. Where do you see your future? Do you plan on sticking in esports for, after Counter-Strike is gone and whatnot, after you leave this team?
I would like to stay with esports, but I'm not sure if there's any good place for me, which where I can fit and where I can found myself.
Right.
But I'm not sure. The time will tell. Yeah.
Okay. And where do you see the future of this lineup? Do you think that this lineup has a chance competing for the top titles in the future?
It all depends of how much we put on the training and if we really want it or not. So I think if we will spend so many time on practice, I think that we have same chances like everyone else. Just take a look on Fnatic. They came from nowhere and suddenly they are winning DreamHack. So I think that the guys which played before CS before, if they put enough of time, that everyone got the same chances. Okay,
well, Mariusz, I think that about sums it up. Is there, I want to give this time for you. Is there anyone you want to thank? I mean, whatever.
Yeah, of course. I would like to say big thanks for all the guys who were supporting me during the time when I announced my retirement, and for so many nice words. That's the mainly reason why I came back to and play with some other guys. And I would also like to say big thanks to our sponsors in Meteor Makers. I mean CM Storm, Orgbyte, and Multiplay. And for all the people who are supporting us.
All right. Well, Mariusz, thanks a lot for joining me. Guys, this was the first episode of Point of View. There will be many more of them. If you have any questions or comments, tweet at me at MYM_Emke. It's visible on the screen. Mariusz, thanks so much for doing this interview.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.